is a girl. She's a star. She's got style. Steffi Star. You see her face around the town. She's popular. Steffi Star.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Weinstein.
And I'm Meredith Keach
And we're realtors.
with Coldwell Banker.
Hello.
We have a very special guest today. Rita Goss, Courtney Pupkin's mom. This is a long-awaited event, and we are so excited and happy to have you with us. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And Rita has the most amazing Southern accent.
Wait a minute, you forgot to introduce.
Oh, sorry.
You said
Courtney
we have
Pupkins.
one guest.
Oh.
You have an exciting guest.
Sorry, Court. And we have Courtney.
It's all about her anyway.
It's all about Rita today.
No.
Oh, yes, it is. Die, die, yenu, die, die, yenu, die, die, yenu, die, yenu, die, yenu. Woo! Yeah,
I like the backup soundtrack.
thank you.
Diana.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that song is, but it's exciting nonetheless.
It has
your
a
Mazel Tov
Passover.
song.
They
Yeah, it has a
sing
catchy
during
tune.
the Seder, Passover Seder, we sing it.
Oh, well, I love it.
Oh, how was Passover?
It was good. I had a Seder and I led a Seder.
You led the Seder?
I led.
We
second
can't.
I can't help it.
We can't, I can't either.
It's fantastic.
I led a Seder for like 80 people with another someone about your age.
Oh, how old do you think I am?
I don't know. Well, Eve has a daughter in.
Just take a guess,
Going to
Rita.
college.
Don't be afraid. How
Eve
old?
has a daughter going to college.
Oh, so what does that mean?
Means you're like 29.
Right.
Thanks. So
And you know, I'm only 30, so she's just a year older
It's
than me.
amazing.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Peter Pan. That's
So
what
Rita,
it is or something.
what is the event to bring you here?
Oh,
Easton.
my grandson's 5th birthday. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
My youngest grandson's 5th birthday.
Oh, he's feeling well though.
He's fine.
He's
It's
fine.
his brother.
who's got the
Oh,
puke
okay.
bug?
His
his
brother, Alex.
But Alex is fine today. He's been home playing with my 2 iPads, getting them all lined up.
Awesome. Make
Locking
sure you
her out of it.
hose them down before you touch them.
Oh, good point.
Stomach
Yes.
bug.
Yeah.
Stomach bug is
I have
a problem.
Clark's
You'll
wipes
need to
under the sink.
defumigate.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Now you have a fantastic Southern accent. So where are you from originally?
I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. You have to say it like you have a mouthful of marbles or you didn't grow up there.
Oh, Louisville.
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 And did you have a horse?
They're all in Lexington. They only race them in Louisville.
Oh, okay.
But they do race
a great
them.
question.
That's good. Well, it's not first person. Yeah, when I went off to college, everybody thought I came off of a farm.
And do you go to the Kentucky Derby?
No, I've never been.
What?
You watch it,
Never
though.
been. Yeah, watch it on TV.
Do you wear a hat when you watch?
A fascinator?
She bets.
Oh no, that's for the Queen.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Do you like the Queen?
Do I like the Queen?
Yeah. I'm just wondering because my
She's
mother's
getting
obsessed
kind
with the
of
Queen.
old.
Oh.
Oh, well, it doesn't mean we can't like her if she's
Well,
old.
I like her, but maybe she should, be
Fade.
paid.
Oh.
Let the
You like
next
you like
generation.
Kate better?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like Kate, right?
Oh, she's just
right.
stunning.
She's beautiful.
Yeah,
She really
breathtaking.
is.
Well,
Long and thin and beautiful.
but we don't have anything to say about it because the Queen rules. So
That's right. And
Yes.
she's 90.
What do you think she carries in her purse?
I don't know. Wasn't that cute? That picture with
Yes.
the granddaughter in the purse.
Yes.
I love that picture.
Yes.
Adorable.
With the little girl in the front, 2-year-old. Totally adorable. I think she carries lipstick,
Yeah.
a cell phone.
You know
A
what she
cell
does?
phone? No.
She carries, I think, extra gloves because she changes the gloves, and they're
Makes sense.
gross.
I think she
They're really
carries a
gross.
tissue,
And a,
A
tissue.
tissue,
right?
Yeah.
You have to have a tissue.
A lipstick, and yeah.
And a
Gloves.
mirror.
I watched an episode, some interview.
Must have a phone for a selfie. No?
No.
No. Okay, no. Just gloves. I keep gloves in my purse too.
White gloves.
Yeah, white gloves. Yep. Okay, so you grew up in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
And how did it remind us how you got here? How did you end up in the Northeast? Where are you now?
Oh my gosh.
Well, you start, because you were before.
I
me.
went to a school at Indiana University that's only 90 miles away, but it's in Indiana. And from there I went to the University of Illinois, which is another couple 100 miles away, Champaign-Urbana. And that's where I met Courtney's father, my husband.
Oh.
and he got a job in D.C., and we moved to D.C.,
Oh.
and we lived there for 5 years while I put him through law school.
Is he a
at
politician?
Georgetown. No, he was an attorney,
Okay.
but he went to Georgetown.
Oh, wow.
And then her sister was being born.
Did you change her name as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Her sister was being born, and his stepfather had just died, and his mother said, if you come to Michigan, you can have his car. Because living in the city, we only had one car. We'd sold my car, had this little Volkswagen. We didn't know how we could have a baby and all this stuff in a Volkswagen.
Oh.
So he got a job interview in Michigan so that he'd get a free plane ticket to go get this car. And that's how I ended up in Michigan.
So then you ended in Michigan.
Because he took the job that he just took the job interview to get the free flight, but he ended
Okay.
up taking the job.
Oh my gosh. And did you know that he took the job?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And at that time, it was like right after the riots and everything, and D.C. was so nice and everything. You're moving to Michigan? Are you sure? Are you sure you know what you're doing? But Michigan's been very good.
And so you're still in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then,
And-
so you had, what's your sister's name? Her first name.
First name is Anne, and she calls her Candace.
Okay.
She screwed both of us.
Okay, so you had Anne, otherwise known as Candace, and then you had Jeanette, otherwise known as Courtney.
Why, Rita? Why? Rita,
Why?
is your real name Rita?
Because
she didn't
I don't even have a
name.
middle name.
She didn't even have
my
a
mother
middle
couldn't
name.
agree.
Well,
See, my mother was smart. She couldn't think of a middle. She didn't believe in middle names. So it wasn't as common back then to have middle names, really. But most people did. But not
So
me.
you named your two girls Anne and Jeanette. Mm-hmm. And then you said, I don't care for either name.
No.
Formerly known as.
Right.
Well, for Candace, I wanted an A name, and the only A name that my husband would agree to. Back in the day, you didn't know if you were having a girl or a boy. You know.
Right.
So you had to be prepared with both.
Right.
So the only A name he would agree to was Astrid.
Oh.
Can you imagine a little 8-year-old girl named Astrid? No,
Oh.
Not in Michigan.
no, no Astrid. It's a beautiful.
Of all the
name.
A names, Astrid was the name?
You know, that was it.
Archibald, too. He liked
Well, I haven't got to the boy yet, and this was it's way before your time. It was the Supreme Court hearings, and it was Archibald Cox. He was this famous guy, you know, an attorney. So the only A name for a boy he would agree to was Archibald.
Astrid and Archibald. Those are some fine names.
So that's
Well, I guess
how
we get lucky
my
with
other
Anne.
daughter got to be Candace, because I named her Anne. Is just the only A name that he could sort of agree to, because it was kind of a
Oh.
calm, you know, I don't want to say nothing name, because there are some Anns, but you know, it wasn't
That is my middle name.
dramatic. It's like a middle name,
Yeah.
right? It's a good middle
I'm
name.
Stephanie Ann.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Can we make that leap one more time from Anne to Candace? I haven't made that connection.
Well, Candace I thought was a pretty name, and Astrid wasn't. So, I mean, so it was a middle name. So I agreed to Anne at Candace. And then it was Candace from the day she was born. And then when this one was
What did
born,
your husband say?
he didn't have much to say about it. 'Cause-
He had no control. She wore the.
well, he did, because he'd only
Yes.
agreed to Astrid, and he had to sign the paper. So then, when Courtney came along,
Formerly known as Jeanette.
Page 1 of the family.
okay, I thought she'd be a boy since we had one girl. So if she was a boy, she was going to be named after her dad. But since she wasn't a boy, here she was in the hospital for several days,
Nameless?
nameless, because we couldn't agree on a name for her, because I was sure she was going to be a boy. So I had this family tree of his,
Page
and
1.
Jeanette Smith was the first settler in this family tree book from the 1700s from England, who had come at the top of this family tree that went for, I mean, it was a thick book. So I said, Jeanette, that sounds good.
There you go.
So she's Jeanette, named after his family. But I wouldn't
Oh,
even
so the
call
family
her-
tree was from his family, so it was a family name.
Right.
What
nice
about,
lineage
did you
there.
ever think of calling her Nettie?
Oh my God,
that would really be Southern.
I'll kill her.
Nettie.
So
Nettie.
since Candace
Nettie,
had
formerly known as Courtney,
Candace
formerly
was
known as
being-
Jeanette.
Candace was being called by her middle name, see? So I said, well, this one's going to be called by her middle name too, and it's got to be a C name because Candace is a C name. Don't ask me where this all came from. You're a little crazy in the hospital, you know? Especially with 9
Did you have
months.
gas? Didn't they gas you
I
back
think some
then?
did, yeah.
No.
My
you
mother was
remember giving
gassed.
birth?
But she almost died giving
Oh.
birth
Oh, good
to
Lord.
because I turned breech.
Oh yeah, this child, she was induced, and then
Problems?
she turned breech.
You have been a problem from day one.
That's what she says all the time.
My mother calls me her left foot. My other sister's her right foot. Is this the same with Jeanette?
She doesn't claim me. She says I was
Yeah.
hatched.
Or she came from the Indians.
All right, well, either one is fine.
I don't mean that as a slur. It was just a.
That's not a problem.
I
Interesting.
couldn't say things.
So that's it. You had the 2 girls and you stopped after Jeanette.
Right. After her, you did not want any more.
You were done.
You were done. You were done. You got no sleep. She'd stay
Well,
up
you know,
all
you-
night.
She was a terrible
It was
baby.
perfection. So where are you going to go on from there?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She cried all the time?
She didn't cry so much. She just wouldn't go to bed at night. She wanted to stay up and be part of the party till
Oh, well,
That makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes
party.
sense.
Till 11
Absolutely.
o'clock. you know?
Yeah.
11 o'clock, she was ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
So now you were in D.C., so are you politically minded?
Not really.
Okay. You must have some opinions of the presidential candidates.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, here we go. So tell us what your thoughts are on Bernie Sanders. Opinion, unabashed, unedited, right here.
Unedited?
Say what you want.
I just think he just kind of came out of nowhere with all these very far out thoughts, but people are looking for that right now. So he has a following of these people who are saying, okay, you're different. And somehow he's made it through all these years of politics without anyone even knowing of him, you know? And all of a sudden, here he is. And he's not young.
No,
not
he's
young.
not.
He's not young. I don't know how he's keeping up with this.
I thought the same
campaign.
thing.
No
Isn't he
idea how any
exhausted?
of them are keeping up with it. It's
I
got to
just
be
can't
utterly and completely
imagine.
exhausted. Hillary Clinton.
Well, I guess if I have to vote, I'm going to vote for Hillary, but
She does have an impressive resume.
she's smart.
Yes.
She's smart, but I don't know.
Donald Trump.
Oh, Meredith, how dare you?
I shouldn't have
I'm
even brought his
still
name up.
waiting for the day. I heard a commentator say this the other day that he was doing this, waiting for the day for Donald to say, "Hi, thank you all. It's just really been wonderful. This was just a joke. I never really meant to do this. I was just trying to see if I could, how far I could get." But as this goes further and further, I don't think it's a joke. So we might have to get prepared.
Now, do you know who the Kardashians are?
Yeah, I know who the Kardashians are, but don't ask me to name them.
Okay,
Or
so
tell you who they're married to.
What are your thoughts on their public image and who they are?
Their public image. They're very public. That's everything about them is public. I just saw a TV show that was an old one while he was still in the family. I just happened to catch this a couple
Oh,
weeks
Caitlyn.
ago. Amazing. I mean, the things they were showing, they were going to the bathroom on television.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
Well, now Bruce is now Caitlyn. So, what are your thoughts on transgender bathrooms?
Oh, gosh. We just got into that talk.
Did you have this conversation?
We were just
You
talking
did?
about
with
it
her
because
husband, with her husband, because
At dinner.
he said, "I cannot believe this." And I'm thinking, you know, like 10 years ago was the whole thing about all the gay people coming out. You know, that they're all coming out, and that was the biggest thing a mother could have. You know, was her son suddenly telling her that he was gay, or the daughter that she was. And now all of a sudden,
The transgender
it's
community
this
is coming out.
transgender. I mean, where did this come from? It's like, you know, here's me and my thoughts on it. I think part of it, maybe, you know, it's all the medical things. He couldn't do this before. Did you see the movie, The Danish?
Yes.
So, I mean, that was the start
Did
of
you
the whole
cry?
thing, really. Oh, yeah, I thought that was great. Now, you know, I felt a lot of sympathy for that
Yeah.
movie. But, you know, it all started back then. If we didn't have the medical processes, you couldn't have it.
Right.
So this is being more and more perfected. It was like it kind of got sort of, you know, people accepted like the surgery, regular surgery,
Yeah.
plastic surgery.
Right,
I'm trying
yeah.
to think plastic surgery,
Yeah.
you know, to a normal person's body, a person who doesn't want to change their sex. And now you use these same kind of techniques and
Well, now the new thing is you're not even supposed to say, you're supposed to say, hi, what do you identify yourself as?
right.
So you could say, I'm Rita, but I identify myself as a man.
No.
I don't think people would believe her.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, a little bit like Bruce, really.
You're far better looking than Caitlin.
Now, are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't put anything up.
No.
Nothing?
So
Do you
you're-
creep on other
I
people's
tag her
Facebook
in
pages?
things and she gets mad.
Well, my mother creeps on other people's pages.
Yes.
But she also writes constantly because she's very
No.
political.
No.
So she gets into fights with everyone. But so you don't creep on anyone's pages?
No.
looks on her
I
news.
have to.
Oh.
I have to put like on hers, or she gets mad. If I don't say
Oh,
I
so-
want to know she saw it.
Oh. Or are you just looking for more likes?
No, I want to know she saw it.
Okay.
Because
she
this way,
puts
when I
up a lot of
refer to
pictures.
it, I know
Right.
because I'm always doing something with the kids, I know she saw it.
Fine.
So she's acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's
it's
an
like
acknowledge-
having a conversation.
I think of a
someone
like. I
acknowledges-
might not love the picture. I'm
Right.
acknowledging it.
Agreed.
I acknowledge a lot of your real estate listings, and they might not be something I'm interested in.
Right.
But I acknowledge it.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Jeanette.
And you know, it's interesting that you say that because now you can hold down on the like button and you can give an emotion to it.
Right.
But that's hard in and of itself. Although it's good because if someone posts something sad, you want to acknowledge it, not just with a big thumbs up.
That's true.
But sometimes
okay.
you don't necessarily, you know, you're just kind of scrolling through. So
Right.
you wouldn't want anyone being offended. And I think that the thumbs up is an acknowledgement of exactly what you're saying.
Oh, I
So,
learned something. Okay,
Rita,
I'm
you
glad
don't
on TV.
post.
No.
She gets tagged in things by me.
I had to go visit people, and then they put my picture up.
Are you opposed to having your picture on Facebook?
Only when Courtney catches me in very embarrassing situations she used to, and put them up.
I bet Candace wouldn't do that.
No, she wouldn't.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I had a
Candace
feeling.
is shy. She wouldn't do that.
And are you a cook?
Yes.
Because we know Courtney is a world famous
Oh,
cook.
Courtney is.
Yes.
I was thinking about, did you tell them about your first TV experience?
Give
She
us
was
the
on a
deets.
show like this when she was about 10, 12 years old. How old were
Middle
you?
school. Yeah.
And what
What are you
were doing?
hiding
It was
from
a
us?
cable access show called
Just like
Young
a lot,
Viewpoints.
only
Oh,
it's for
okay.
children.
And there were like 10 of us.
You
and
never told them?
I don't think so. It didn't come up. There were about 10 of us, and we would each do a segment. And one day, I didn't have anything prepared for the segment. I didn't write anything up. And so I decided, I just don't know where it came from, but I decided I was going to make Rice Krispie treats. But I had never made Rice Krispie treats before.
And I had never made them.
Oh.
And I was a home ec teacher.
Oh boy.
But I had never made Rice
And
Krispie
I
treats.
made the Rice Krispie treats on air, live.
And it was
And-
like Lucille Ball.
And
She had this stuff like,
she was in the back in the green room, whatever, just laughing hysterically at me.
she
trying-
had this stuff just like stuck everywhere.
We need to find this footage.
We can't.
tried.
We tried.
We actually
Oh, you tried?
We
Looked at them
We
and
can't get it.
tried.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
But it was-
Well,
so
maybe you'll
long
come
ago.
back on the show and
Make Rice
remake
Krispie-
the Rice Krispie
Yeah, you know what? I
treats.
haven't made them since, so I could try.
Well, there you go.
So your culinary talents started then.
What happened?
I know. So
She can clean.
we'd like to bring this into
All right,
the,
she
to the
can
viewer
clean.
audience. So
Okay.
Courtney is a self-proclaimed. Help me out, Courtney.
Failure.
Non-cook?
Challenged.
Challenge.
I would
Yeah,
say
that's a good
challenged because I still keep trying, and I'm not. So you can't fail if you're still trying.
one. Right, exactly.
I still keep trying and
That's
trying because I like family dinners, and my husband works 12 hours a day, and I certainly don't want him to. I don't want him to come home and cook, and he doesn't. Even when he does cook, he doesn't think of new recipes.
Okay.
It's the same meal every time. So I like to try new things, and there are some disasters. especially the crock pot when I was working full time. There were a lot of problems in that crock pot.
Well, having a crock pot disaster is particularly dreadful because you look forward to that meal the whole day. And if you get home and all of a sudden your meal is dreadful, that would be heartbreaking
Well,
to me.
we would
Yeah.
call takeout.
Okay.
Like most of the time they were inedible.
Oh,
How? How do you go wrong with a crock pot?
I can understand this. I'm really not a great
I
cook.
put
try.
ground turkey in the crock pot
Okay.
without browning it first. I just put the
Oh.
raw ground turkey in, and it became grainy. It cooked, but it became like mealy and grainy. That was a bad one. I also had these meatballs, and instead of cooking them in marinara, I decided to try cooking them in chicken broth.
Okay.
I guess part of the problem is I was winging it a lot and
Okay.
not following a recipe.
Okay.
That was a big.
But you've changed. You've actually had instruction.
I had cooking lessons.
And the cook came to your house.
Yes.
Tell us about that experience.
So, she was my trainer at the Training Fix in Easton.
What's her name?
Kara Simpson.
Okay.
And she was tired of me ordering out all the time. They would always ask me, what you have for dinner, and so she said, we need to give you cooking lessons. Like, we need to give you help to make better, healthier choices. So she would cook every Sunday with me for, I think it was about 3 months.
Excellent.
Yep, she would give me the grocery list in advance, and we would cook, and we would freeze. A lot of them were kind of casserole dishes, and we would freeze 2 and leave 1.
Okay. So
And it
you'd
would
make a
take us
meal
through
for a
the
couple
week.
of days. Oh, for the whole week.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you've actually, I know I'm in a group with you for recipes, and I've seen you actually progress. You're making these pretty
They've been edible.
edible. I mean,
Yes, you
to
have
me,
come a
that's
long
success.
way.
Thank you.
And what's the name of your site? It's really cute. I do see that on Facebook.
It's just recipes.
Just recipes, yeah.
yeah.
Just recipes.
So that's kind of trying to put it in a perspective.
Well, I
Don't
think it
get
was
so
kind of
upset.
born to show what you're having for dinner, because so many of us have busy lives and we're not innate cooks. And it's taking a snapshot of what you made, and then people can make from that.
And it's fun to see what people like. Some things that were the easiest that I've made get the most response. Or, one girl said, "Now you're just showing off." And I wrote, all I did was I made my usual chicken.
Yeah.
And it was the basil, mozzarella, tomato, whatever, caprese.
Oh, yep.
All I did was slice those items and put it on top of the chicken and squirted this basil cream sauce on it. And everyone,
You are a show off.
that's what I was called. And I was
Yes.
like, that is hysterical because I didn't do anything. This was like the easiest dish.
But you made it look the prettiest.
Well, I made it look like the recipe looked.
Oh.
The picture in the recipe. I looked at that picture and just did what they did.
Now, Rita, what was your go-to meal as a working mom? Because my mother loafed everything. Meatloaf, salmon loaf, everything was a loaf. And when I was a latchkey kid, my mother worked at the temple as a
Lois?
secretary.
Latchkey kid.
I
right
was a
over
latchkey
here.
kid.
Latchkey
This
kid.
is why I am the way I am. So when I came home, before I went to Hebrew school, I had to put the loaf in the oven. And oftentimes I would forget to put the oven on, and then we would all come home for dinner, and the loaf would be raw.
Oh, well, I grew up that way too.
With a loaf?
No,
Or a
it was
latchkey
like,
kid.
Oh, yeah. My parents owned a grocery store, and so my mother would like bring the meat home the day before, and then she'd call you on the phone and say, "It's time to put the meat in." Like when we get home from school.
Yeah.
Like chuck roast. That was always the main thing. Was these chuck roasts, and you'd have to remember. But sometimes you forget. You're into something else and you forget. It's supposed to be at 3:50. Then my sister took over too, and she was worse than me at forgetting. She cooked the best chuck roast at 500 degrees that you could ever eat. She'd get a chuck roast done in like an hour and a half.
500 degrees.
So my kids didn't have to cook like that. Her sister. Well, see, she didn't cook when she was young. Her sister was the one.
Candace was
Candace-
more of a baker.
Candace sounds like more of a Bella Buster.
Her sister would teach all the new babysitters how to make tacos. That was back
Oh,
when
then we had a
tacos-
fire, and we got to order pizza every time after the fire. When she was
When you were at work?
she was out like we.
at
This was
night.
back in the old days before Domino's and before all these pizza delivery
Right.
places came along.
Well, they had
So
had pizza.
Okay, well, I guess they had pizza because it just, I don't feel like it was on every corner like it is now. But anyway, we always made tacos. Well, the shells fell through and caught on fire, and I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to put water, into an oven. And they had always told us if anything happened to go to our neighbors. And so
You fled the scene.
I fled. They opened the door. I was like, fire! And the older son came running over, and somehow he was able.
Steven?
Yeah.
He put it out?
He got it under control.
Thank God.
And saved the day. But after that fire, it was pizza every time they went out.
How much trouble would have Courtney been in if she burned down the house?
Oh, a lot.
Candace would have been blamed.
Candace
Candace was
blamed.
the cook.
Oh.
Oh, right, brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
you wouldn't have been in trouble.
I
over
wouldn't have
that.
been in trouble over that.
Oh.
It was her
Other
fault.
things, but not that.
Yeah.
Lots of other things, but not cooking.
And how long are you in town for, Rita?
Oh, just till I'm leaving at 8:00 on Saturday
Which
night.
is tomorrow.
Okay.
And she only
Oh,
could
Saturday night.
I'm chairing a big event.
for the junior league.
Oh,
It's very important.
very
The Junior League of
exciting.
She has a
Detroit.
very busy social life.
Oh.
Right. And your event is this evening?
No, there's a one event is on Sunday.
No,
is-
when she goes home.
Oh,
I have to be home by noon on
Meredith wasn't
Sunday.
listening. Sorry.
I'm leaving at 8:00 Saturday night
Okay.
after a noon birthday, so that I can be home for a luncheon.
Got it.
Now, Rita, I'm
Very
surprised that
important.
you don't winter in Florida. You are a Jewish woman.
She goes to see her sister who winters in Florida.
What part of Florida?
Naples,
Oh, that's very nice. But how long do you stay?
just 2 weeks.
Why?
Well, she has a lot of other company, and I have a
She goes
lot
a lot.
going on.
Do you
She's
like
just
Florida?
Too busy.
Well, every time I go there, it's cool, like for the first week, and then the second week is better, and
She's just too busy to go to Florida full time.
I like it, but
Can't even get her on the phone.
and it's so expensive to have my own house. You
She
know?
just went on a
How do you get
cruise
to
with her
Florida?
boyfriend.
How do you get to Florida?
She doesn't want to talk about
How do you get to
I
Florida?
fly.
In a.
They want me to say this in an airplane.
She takes
And
an
she
airplane.
flies.
it. And what's your favorite hobby to ride your?
No,
Yes, you do.
And do you wear jeans or blue jeans?
blue jeans.
Blue
But black
jeans.
jeans too.
Do you like
Oh,
your matzo balls hard or soft?
Soft. But you wanted me to say the matzo balls.
Maybe.
I like softballs.
So anyway,
Anyway, you have a big event on Sunday.
well, that's just part of it. It's the Junior League of Detroit has this show house. We could spend the whole.
Designer show.
Oh, we have one of those here. My mother, her friend, runs the designer show house out of Massachusetts.
Oh, lovely.
Where
What city is it in?
decorators.
I don't know. They do it in different towns. I don't know where it is this year.
I did
pretty exciting.
community service hours at a show house once.
Let's not talk about that.
Why? Everything she's involved in, we can't talk about it.
So
Right.
We can't talk about anything.
This is the Southern way. You put it on the
We're not
rug.
going to talk about that on TV. She got in trouble at college and she had to put in service hours. This was back when she was in college. That's how long I've been associated with this organization. And beforehand, you have to have people at the house while the decorators are there doing their work. So they
Signing
need people
people
to be there. So Courtney worked off her service hours for college at the Junior
Designer
League Show
show
House.
It
Excellent.
was really nice. There were some cute carpenters. It
I'm
wasn't
sure.
so bad.
No, that wouldn't be a bad assignment.
No,
I was all right with it.
not bad at all.
That was before smartphones, though.
Yeah.
You know, it was a little
Yeah.
boring. But
Well, right.
But it's hard. You can't use them anyway that well. So.
And we have a birthday party tomorrow,
yes.
a 5-year-old birthday party. And what are you doing for his birthday?
We are going to the New Kids Planet.
Oh,
in
I've
Easton.
heard that this is a great venue. Haven't seen it yet.
Yep. So I chose it because it just opened a month ago. The new location just
Yep.
opened a month ago, also in the industrial park, and it's just so easy. And also that same day is the Pan Mass Challenge tomorrow.
right, yep.
And a lot of my friends and their children are doing it, so I needed something close by. So the Pan Mass ends at 11. The party starts at 11:30.
Perfect. What are you doing for goodie bags? I know this is a sore subject for some people.
Yes. Well,
Named
I
MKK.
I don't. It comes from her, and she loves the word crap. I don't like buying a bunch of crap
Oh, thank
or
God.
all the junky stuff. So we get custom cookies.
Perfect.
Custom.
Okay.
They
well,
with the
of course.
logo of whatever the theme is, and this year is Batman. So there will be a Batman logo on each cookie, and that's what they get.
And how many children will be at this party?
25.
Oh dear God.
Dear.
Oh my.
Well, actually, the list was at 50, and I had to cut it.
Oh my gosh.
And then
Rita, you're
30
gonna
were
go?
invited.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till the bar mitzvah. If there's 25 kids at the 5-year-old birthday party,
Yeah.
There's always a lot. We have Avi's friends. He's still friends with all of his friends from Sharon.
why does that always happen?
All those guys, they're all tight. They all have 2 kids each. And then we have my friends. And then we have neighbors too. Like we have ours, mine, his, and ours.
And your old neighbors, too.
And some old neighbors
Oh.
too. We just, you know,
That's a big group. But the great thing about the birthday parties today is you don't have to host at home. I mean, you can if you want, which I love a home birthday party. But these, if you just are, you know, it can be too much. And so it's 2 hours. You show up and they handle everything and you go home, you don't have anything to clean up and you take these wonderful presents home for your child and it's done. I still found it stressful though.
well, we have a little problem, and that is that I don't know. I don't know if she'll want me to say her name, but I will because she's such a good sport. Jackie Weissman is dressing up in a Batman costume.
Wonderful.
And
Jackie Weissman on our school committee.
Yes, and
Yes.
she is just such a trooper. She wore it for her son's birthday, and she was also Spider-Man at my son's birthday Spider-Woman.
Who knew? Who
Yep.
knew this about Jackie Weissman?
So, by the grace of God, my son has chosen the same theme as her son for 2 years in a row.
Perfect.
So first it was Spider-Man, and she wore a costume. So I said, "Will you wear it to my sons?" And then this year, it was Batman, and I said, "Will you wear that again?" Now the zipper is broken, but thank God. I said, "That's no problem at all. My mother is a home ec teacher."
Oh, thank
Drop.
God.
Fix the zipper.
I said,
sure.
drop that costume off. So at 1 o'clock, she's putting it in my mailbox. And now my mom has a job for the rest of the afternoon.
Rita will be busy with the
Yeah.
zipper.
I think a zipper is tough to fix, isn't
I know.
it?
Are you sure you know how to do
She
that,
said
Rita?
she
No.
might sew her into it.
That's what I
Oh.
said.
She
If I
needs to
can't
look
fix
at
it,
it.
I'll sew her in it.
She's going to
Oh,
sew
all
her
right.
into the costume.
Okay.
Now, you don't drink, really.
Oh gosh, I miss it. Because I used to drink a lot. I was like quite a
Well,
party
what
girl.
happened?
My migraines
So how will you
Yes.
relieve stress?
at the party.
Well, after the party, when
Oh.
you get home tomorrow evening.
Oh.
No,
We
stress.
Can I
have another
just-
party.
can I just
after
interject
that.
for a
There's
minute?
just too much time. You know what I do? Let me tell you what I do. I binge watch from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Naked and Afraid. Have you seen that?
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
For,
I'm
well, for 10
obsessed.
seconds. and
Are
I
you
couldn't watch
really
it.
obsessed with that?
Yeah, I don't know why.
We watched it last night.
Yeah, I made her watch it. She's like, "You just like it because there's butts on TV." That's that's not why, because usually the butts aren't that great. But
Should you apply to be on the show?
well, my husband.
Survive. Could you survive
No.
naked
My-
and
No,
afraid?
she couldn't survive for 15
Well,
minutes.
the bugs alone.
Okay, the mosquitoes.
Oh,
and they're
they
like,
love me. Bugs
Me
just
too.
absolutely
Those-
love me.
What were those things that
Oh,
suck the
they
blood?
had leeches.
Leeches.
They had them in their privates. They had them everywhere.
Oh, dear God.
So that problem alone, and you can't wear shoes, and it's hot.
No, Courtney
Avi
wouldn't
thinks I
make
would
it
last 10 minutes. How many minutes do you
15.
15. She gave generous.
I mean, horrible.
How long would you last?
I wouldn't even want to try.
Oh.
I wouldn't
Fair
last
enough.
at all, ever. But I
You
wanted
wouldn't
to tell
last-
you.
No,
she
you
ran the
couldn't put me
marathon.
naked in some
Yeah, but you
place
ran the
with bugs.
marathon. That takes a certain kind
Yeah,
of person.
you could do it.
Oh, mm-mm.
I don't believe you.
No, I don't want, nope, not at the, I'm in a younger point in my life, but not now. I couldn't do it now. I would just, nope. I mean, if I had to, I suppose,
See?
but.
See, if I had to, I would just die.
I would die too. I would get Zika or something. Something would happen. I would die of an illness.
Speaking of being on a deserted island, I've always said if I was ever stranded on a deserted island, the one person I'd want with me is Carrie Rapolo.
Absolutely.
That girl is resourceful.
Oh, I didn't
Is
know
she
she was
really?
resourceful.
Resourceful. We were able to bring, when we went to the Patriots game, we were, it's a very small bag. She was the only one who had the sense, I'll say, to bring a plug and charger cord.
Brilliant.
So that night, when we were all out of battery, we had the bartender plug in under the bar,
Right.
and we were all charging. And it was beautiful. And I thought that was just, I don't know, it was that little thing. Not only that, there are much more, but that was just, she knew the essential items. That was essential.
That's a main one in life.
Yeah.
It really is.
Especially at the end of an event like that, you need the juice.
You
It was
need
an
power.
all-day event, right? We were gone because we went to the game and then out afterward, and we were all dead, but we had her charger.
Brilliant.
Rita, do you have a smartphone?
Oh, yes, I have a
she did.
smartphone.
She doesn't reply to text messages
I do too.
often.
Oh. So what do you do?
I
So
text.
you see a text from
But I
Courtney, you
text-
read it,
no.
and then
And
you
then
just...
just ignores it.
I do text, but
She's too
I
busy.
know with the younger generation that you have to text.
Right.
If you send young people, like on this committee for this show house, if you send the young people emails,
Email.
they ignore it.
Or what about if you try to call them?
No, text. You want to reach them, you text. So I know all about texting, Courtney.
And she volunteers, this is funny, she volunteers for the Services for Older Citizens Technology Tutoring Program.
Every
and
Friday.
calls my husband,
How many times?
I don't know, I'm not there. She calls my husband for help, like we'll FaceTime him, right, for help
No.
with a problem.
No,
What do
I've
you do?
only
Go
called
ahead,
him
talk.
a couple times.
Okay,
I
but
call
you've-
other people. I've called companies, but we help these people.
She helped a lady set up an online dating website.
Really?
An old lady, yep.
Not an old lady. She's not that old, but I have certain people that only want to come to me, like with the phones and the Facebook and the dating, and I have like my
You know how to hook
clients.
them up,
My
Rita.
Are
clients.
you a dating specialist?
Well,
She
Are you a
paid-
matchmaker?
Well,
No.
she had her own page online, so she has experience.
Mm-hmm.
She did like seniormatch.com or something. Our generation.
I am loving this.
Yeah.
Was it exciting? Did you go on dates?
Oh yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. We haven't like.
well, she helped me. We were talking about it. We had this sweater on.
Of what your profile picture
Dana
was.
Marshall, the best photographer in Easton, did our photos,
Oh.
and
Yes.
And had this sweater on.
and we had Dana.
It's a nice
do
color block sweater.
Yes.
Yes, we had Dana do just a headshot for her. We had our family photos, but in addition to our family photos, we took time out to get her a headshot so she could use it for her social media dating websites. And she met a guy, Greg.
So I'm not on it anymore.
That's it? You pulled off? You're with Greg
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, great.
And they bet on games. They're like bookies. No, what do you do?
Isn't that illegal?
Rita is a home ec teacher and a bookie.
No, I'm not a home ec teacher anymore. I'm retired.
She
She's
calls
retired
my
from that.
husband and my husband about a bet, and Avi will say, "He's taking advantage of you. I don't like him taking advantage of my mother-in-law. He'll think it's a bad bet."
Yeah.
Will you be
did.
betting on the Derby?
No, we didn't bet on that. It was all about football, and I lost $40.
Man,
$40.
swindled.
Because it seemed like all the good teams were had on red this year. It was all about the red. If you think about the teams and the bet, and then it got into. Well, it was all about red.
How about the casino? Do you like
She
the
likes
casino?
the team's
No.
uniforms. That's how she bets.
Well, that's how I bet the horses. I pick the color I like for the
Right.
day.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, right.
Do you have a favorite player?
In what? Football? Well, I have to go with you all. Patriots, you know.
That's right.
Do you know who the
Because-
quarterback is?
Do you
Certainly not Detroit
Do you think the
Lions.
Patriots are cheaters?
Cheaters?
do you think
What,
Tom Brady's
mean
a
that,
cheater?
That ball thing?
Yeah, do you think he's
well,
a
now
cheater?
they say he's got to be, what, 4 games?
I'm just asking you,
Do I
Rita,
think-
do you think Tom Brady is a cheater?
Do I think?
Yes,
I
your
don't
personal
know.
opinion.
Well, my
Did he
personal
deflate
opinion.
those balls?
No, he didn't. He didn't do it himself, but he might have known. that
Rita, give me a
they
straight
weren't
answer.
feeling so.
Is he a cheater? In your personal
I have
opinion.
no personal knowledge that he's a cheater. No, I think he's real cute.
He is hot.
She likes tall men.
Oh.
Is Greg tall?
Well, that's not too tough, right?
No, not real tall, but not short. I don't like short men though.
Well,
So if
what's
a-
short to you?
If a 5-footer came over to you and said, "Ooh,
Well,
mama.
I think she doesn't really.
Back
also
when I
doesn't
was
like
in
short
college,
men.
back when I was in college, and the girls would come to me and say, "Oh, Rita, we met the cutest little guy for you. He's so cute. He's so short." And I'm like, no way.
Was it because you thought that they were only going to like you because you were shorter than them? Because on JDate, when I was on it, I didn't like to date short guys because I thought it was that they were only picking me because of my height.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just wasn't attracted to him though.
She
wanted-
loved.
Rita doesn't care for a short man.
No,
No.
my dad was 6'2".
Wait, what?
It was a really cute couple. I'll have to text you a picture. They were so funny. She would stand on a couple steps.
Well, because you're 4'8", so just
No, you're not supposed to say that.
What? What's
or
wrong with
5'8".
that? Well,
Thanks a lot, Meredith.
what's wrong with that?
I used to be 4'10".
I think
Oh, okay. So
And I
Meredith
was.
here's everyone's dirty laundry.
4'8", formerly known as 5.
4'10", no, 4'10" and a quarter.
4'10" and a quarter.
Okay.
But I shrunk.
And now
You know
I
that
think
can
she's
happen when you get
illegal-
old. You
Yes,
shrink.
my
think-
mother said pretty soon she's going to turn into a puddle.
Well, I think she's illegal
horrible.
to drive right now.
It's
Oh, dear
horrible.
God.
What's the-
Okay, before we get to driving illegal, we're over time.
Oh my God, okay.
We've
we're
got to,
done?
We're over time?
We're over
We're-
time.
what, are we
that's it.
10
Everyone's
minutes
just
over?
warming up, but
Oh, that's it.
People, they'll
Show's
cut us
over.
off. They'll cut us
Done.
off.
Finite.
You did a great job, Mom.
Well, we haven't said goodbye to our studio audience and our big and
thank you for joining us today. We're here with Rita and Courtney.
Thanks.
AKA Jeanette.
I'm Meredith Keach.
I'm Stephanie Weinstein.
Thanks for joining us in our wonderful discussion today.
There's a girl, she's a star. She's got style. Steffi Star, you see her face around the town. She's popular. Steffi Star.